So today we're talking about the harsh reality of arc raiders. You've probably seen it online someplace at this point. Some people love the PvE side of arc raiders and some folks hate the PvP side. And honestly, it's dividing the community like never before. But here's my question for you, and think hard about it while we go through this. Do you think a game can ever truly make everyone happy, or are just some divides inevitable? But before we jump into the video, if you like arc raiders, be sure to give this video a big like. And if you care to stay up to date with anything arc raiders related, consider subscribing today. All right, peeps. Let's get into it. You might think this is another debate about PvP versus PvE, but stick with me because some of the stuff we're about to dive into, yeah, it's wild. And it could happen to any one of us. So first up, let's talk about the positives because there are some. A viewer recently left a comment about how much they're enjoying arc raiders because of the community itself. They were saying it's rare to find people that genuinely make the game fun without the toxicity, and it's refreshing to play with folks who actually care about teamwork. His comment reads as follows. The wholesome community push that people have seemed to adopt as a whole in this game has been super refreshing. As people get juiced on their accounts, PvP will get more prominent because people want rare weapons. But please community, stay friendly. It's been an absolute joy, and it's a rarity. PvP will happen at rare loot spots and bosses, but keep it fun with your fellow raiders. We don't gotta be aggressive sweat lords 24/7. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. Really think about it. How often do you find that in multiplayer games? When you see a rando and things just click. It changes the entire experience. You start looking forward to logging in, not just for the game, but for the people, and that's a powerful part of arc raiders. Now stick around because while this part of the community is thriving, the other half, not so much. Okay peeps, so here's the flip side. Some folks are getting really frustrated with PvP. They're saying it completely ruins their experience. They just want to enjoy the game without constantly worrying about being attacked or betrayed. Check this comment out. I only partially agree. Playing solo on a free loadout and getting taken out by an arc is a part of the game. But being taken out by the Rocketeer, crawling into the extraction point and starting the process while others jump in and just shoot you in the back and kill you right before the doors close, that completely ruins the fun. Especially when you finally found rare items. They know full well that they can't loot you anymore. And shooting someone makes no sense in that moment, but they enjoy imagining your frustration. These are the kind of gamers who make casuals like me quit. And when casuals quit, games often end pretty quickly. If you're focused on PvP, join a squad and fight in hot zones. It's that simple. I get it. I've been there. You're grinding, you're leveling up, you're in the zone, and some instances a hot zone, and then boom, some random shows up and ruins it. And it's like, why am I even here playing this game? And this, my friend, is where things get tricky. Arc Raiders is built as a PvE, PvP experience combined. But does the tension cross the line for some players? Absolutely, in my opinion. And that's exactly what the community is split on. And speaking of splitting the community, there's an interesting suggestion that popped up that just might bridge this gap. So someone suggested a reputation system, basically a rating system for players. The idea is if you play respectfully, contribute to teams, avoid trolling, you get a higher rating. And maybe that encourages fair play. I hope they implement a reputation system. Nothing too overpowered, but a way to encourage players to help each other if you help them extract. Like leaving a good review for the service provided. You will literally have people going topside to be a good Samaritan. As people get stronger, they're going to naturally want to steamroll other players and steal their loot. This would balance the game and make it more immersive because in real life there are rewards for being selfish, but there are also rewards for being selfless. Now I could see the appeal in theory. This could filter out the worst offenders and reward those who make the game enjoyable. That's actually pretty smart. But here's the thing, will it really solve the tension? Or will it just create a new set of arguments where players feel judged or unfairly rated? Think about that. I love to hear what you guys think because this is where it gets personal for a lot of people, including me. So some of you peeps might know the game called H1Z1, right? Back in the day, I used to play it when it was called Just Survive, and even before then. It was like a premier battle royale experience overall, but it did have a survival segment in it that I thoroughly enjoyed. And there was PvE that you could do and player versus player. Like, it was just things of that nature that you could just find yourself partaking in ultimately. It was an open environment and you could get into a lot of shit. I was actually going through the experience with a couple of comrades of mine, and these guys end up betraying me, taking all my loot and just making the experience a horror for me, right? To the point that I didn't even want to visit that server for a duration of time. It got ugly ultimately. Now, I know it sounds small to you folks and you might be like, Abel, it's just a game. But in that moment, it felt personal, okay? And for some of you, I don't even have to explain. You've been there and you trusted someone and it didn't pay off. It sucks, I know. And that's the harsh reality of multiplayer gaming. It happens in Arc Raiders too, because the PvP element is designed to test trust. And yeah, it could ruin a game in a heartbeat. Which leads me perfectly to my next point. Some players just want a PvE experience. Is that you? Another gamer suggested that Arc Raiders should have a PvE only mode. A space where you could team up, explore, grind, and experience the game without worrying about being ambushed by another player. Does that sound good? Let's check out his comment. Why don't Embark add a co-op PvE mode so you could join others to take down the Ark without worrying about PvP? It would suck to take down the Queen and get fucked by another 3-man team as you were looting the Queen, and out of ammo they attack. In the future, trio PvP players will join the solos and kill the game for solo casual players. I mean, if we're hopping into games now and just solo queuing with other people to team up, I mean, like we really have lost the whole plot. okay, I get it. Sometimes you just want to enjoy the game on your own terms. So do I. I'm right there with you. But here's the thing. If they add that, it could create two completely different communities within the same game. And does that solve the problem, or does it just split the player base further? Guys, let me know your thoughts on that, because this is exactly the debate that we are seeing everywhere online right now. And now, the part that might make your jaw drop. The story that could happen to anyone playing Arc Raiders. So, someone shared a story about getting completely blindsided in Arc Raiders. I mean, in their words, stabbed in the back while grinding, lost everything. This is a gamer's worst nightmare. Check this comment out. Laugh out loud. I just saw a video of a squad taking down the Queen. It took about 20 minutes to kill her, and the moment they went to loot her, they got shot in the back by another squad. If you're unemployed or play video games for a living, that 20 minutes is no big deal. But imagine coming home from a job just to have all that time wasted. All that exhilaration snuffed out by trigger happy sweats. Now, I can't lie to you folks, that would be pretty damn rough. that might make me go bolder than what I am now. Okay, I'm not even gonna hold you on that. That's rough. Just to put in all that work and it just to be snuffed out just like that. And it's exactly stories such as this that make Arc Raiders complicated. And also, it's exactly why this community will always be divided to some degree, in my opinion. And guess what, folks? That's where the harsh reality part comes in. So here's the takeaway. The harsh reality of Arc Raiders. The community will always be at odds to some degree. We know this, right? With this game only getting bigger and gaining more momentum, tensions could get worse. More betrayals, more debates, more PvE versus PvP arguments. You guys know the drill. But here's the thing, even with all that, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's friendship, there's teamwork, there's moments to remind us why we play Arc Raiders. And if we focus on that, maybe we can enjoy the game even with the chaos. So the harsh reality of Arc Raiders isn't all doom and gloom, but it is real. And that's why it's worth paying attention to the community, listening to feedback, and maybe even learning a little about human nature while we play. So if you folks want to check out the video that started this huge debate, be sure to click this video here and I'll be sure to see you there.